Hard-hitting combat, dark worlds, and uncompromising gameplay define this lineup. These upcoming games lean into intensity through their mechanics, tone, and presentation, offering experiences built to test skill and endurance rather than hold back. Let's dive right into it.
Every slain demon is another unheard prayer. Hantry reavers scour the yet fertile land.
Ad Mortem is set to deliver a first-person psychological horror experience focused on realism and mental pressure. Exploration is slow and controlled, with very little guidance provided. The story explores themes of death, guilt, and psychological trauma through environmental storytelling. The experience is designed to create tension through atmosphere and anticipation rather than direct action.
I remember the enemy.
Hi everyone, long time no see. I'm Giru and I'm the project lead for Ad Mortem. Thank you for taking the time to check out our Kickstarter trailer and I hope you enjoyed it. Ad Mortem is a passion project, many years in the making, and we are incredibly excited to finally share it with you. We would love for you to go and check out our Kickstarter page, see what Ad Mortem is all about, and please consider backing the project to help bring it to life. Every bit of contribution, any support, whether big or small, means the world to us. There is a dev blog coming very soon as well, so please stay tuned for more updates as the campaign unfolds. I want to thank you for your continued support, and I want to thank you on behalf of the Ad Mortem team, and I want to invite you to join us on the journey ahead.
Crisol Theater of Idols is a first-person action horror game set on a cursed island inspired by Spanish folklore. Its main system uses blood as both health and ammunition, forcing players to constantly manage risk during combat. Exploration, survival, and resource management are tightly connected. The narrative unfolds through cult activity, rituals, and violent environments.
Horror ahead in 2026. For our first episode, I hope you've got your sea legs engaged because we're sailing to Tormentosa, an island cursed with eternal storms and facing the wrath of a powerful entity. Tormentosa really does have it all. Beautiful beaches, plenty of places for great food and drink, and welcoming locals. Okay, maybe I lied about the last part. Tormentosa is an island off the coast of Hispania, a rich and strikingly twisted version of Spain, carefully crafted by Madrid-based Vermilla Studios. Creative director David Tornero and his team wanted to make sure that the town itself is as much a character in Crisol as our leading man Gabriel, and to make sure that Spanish culture bleeds into every location. The word Crisol actually means crucible, and the studio has created Tormentosa as a melting pot of different influences from across the country in different eras. This means you'll see Romanesque, Baroque, and of course Gothic architecture combining to bring to life a wholly unique but still definitively Spanish world. But to truly understand Tormentosa, it's time for some lore. Two warring religions have called the island home over the years, the Cult of the Sea and the Church of the Sun. The island was once named Aurora, full of those who worship the flames of the sun god. By the time we get there though, the Cult of the Sea has taken over, and we see lives that are shaped entirely by water. Anchors loom on the skyline, scales are the order of the day when it comes to decor, and those who worship the sun have been labelled heretics and disappeared into the shadows. Playing as Gabrielle, a follower of the sun god, we enter a city that has desperately remodelled to get away from its past. But you'll still find history of these warring religions as you wander the streets, including in blood memories that let us catch a glimpse of what came before.
We will calm the waters.
Given that Gabrielle needs blood to shoot and stay alive, you'll have to absorb nearby corpses of animals to keep your health up. But these aren't your average livestock. Scales cover their bodies as something in the water has warped and mutated them into land-sea hybrids, something that the town is clearly fiercely proud of. Delicious. And finally, it only seems right to give you a sneak peek at the central hub of Crisol, the fair. Vermilla wanted you to have at least one place where you can take a breather and put down that spiked pistol for a while. And a traditional Spanish fair seemed like a perfect place to do that. All structured around a beautiful carousel, the fair lets you catch up with lone survivors on the island, do some much needed upgrades, and yes, play some carnival games. Each one is seeped in the lore of Tormentosa, with this one letting you literally extinguish the flames of the sun with the water of the sea. So that's a quick behind-the-scenes glimpse at Tormentosa and the world you'll be entering in Crisol Theatre of Idols, which is coming to consoles and PC in 2026. You can wishlist it now on Steam. And don't forget to subscribe to Blumhouse Games to make sure you keep up with all of our news and updates from our dev teams.
Beta Decay is an open-world sci-fi RPG set in a collapsing cyberpunk future. The game features large cities, space travel, shipbuilding, and faction-driven conflict. Players can align with different groups and influence control across the world through their actions. Progression focuses on long-term systems rather than a strict linear story. The game emphasizes scale, freedom, and complex gameplay systems. Samson is a dark action horror game built around physical strength, destruction, and symbolic themes. Combat is heavy and close range, with movement and attacks designed to feel slow and powerful. Exploration and environmental puzzles break up combat encounters. Religious symbolism and moral conflict shape the narrative. The experience focuses on meaning, atmosphere, and controlled violence.
Currency. You can't outrun debt. You can't freeze interest. You can curl up and die in the street. Or you can fight the fuck back.
13 Years of Flames is a story-focused action game with strong emotional weight. Gameplay follows a mostly linear structure with limited exploration. Combat supports the narrative rather than leading it. The story spans over 13 years, focusing on trauma, loss, and revenge. The experience prioritizes storytelling and pacing over mechanical complexity.
所以死了，一切意义都没了。我们的追求一致，过上舒服的生活，不是吗？看看曼德如今的繁荣与进步，我们的都是亚细亚同胞兄弟，共保和平，才能共荣大东亚。周队长已经加入了我们，赵兄弟要是不嫌弃，就请来担任皇协军队长。今天晚上，我们得先去喝2杯，然后再。
Supreme Experiment is a first-person horror game centers on unethical human experimentation and psychological breakdown. Gameplay focuses on exploration and survival with minimal combat. Story details are delivered through environments rather than cutscenes. Players can expect a dark and uncomfortable experience when it becomes available.
Left alone for a century, the machines evolved in ways no one could predict. A new species, trying to survive, fighting for scraps, searching for truth. An abandoned, poisoned wasteland, crawling with creatures beyond imagination. Down here, humans don't belong. For those who left the city, it's a one-way ticket. But they go for a reason. This evolution of the machines was not random. There's something vast behind it. And it's coming for everyone, not just the machines. The people in the cities don't know it yet, but soon they will.
Port Desire. A city that don't belong to anyone, but everyone wants a piece.
No Law is a high-intensity action game focused entirely on raw violence. The game removes structured morality and centers on constant combat. Gameplay is fast, aggressive, and uninterrupted by long narrative sequences. The setting reflects a complete collapse of order and authority. The experience maintains relentless intensity from start to finish.
I walked away from it all, kept my hands in dirt instead of blood. But desire is a fickle mistress. The city won't let me go. It won't forget my name. I asked for nothing, and they still came and took everything. The mayors and anyone that stands in my way, every last one of them. They're gonna learn something real simple. You reap what you sow.
Defect is currently framed as a dystopian action game focused on rebellion and control. The gameplay mixes combat with narrative decisions that influence how events unfold. Levels are structured, and player choices carry consequences. The story explores resistance against oppressive systems and the cost of defiance. The game balances action with decision-driven progression.
Green light, 50 seconds. The system approves infiltration and data harvest. High-value criminal elements control the entire block between Figueroa and Lincoln. Multiple suspects in the stacks. Infiltrate and harvest. I will guide you in. Serve and protect. And the system will set you free. Once you're inside, apprehend and pursue all suspects. The system requires you monitor all fellow officers for deviation. It is your sworn duty to report any agitation, any disobedience, any emotion. The system is always watching.
Flesh eat. Welcome to the grinder. You think you're brave? Law-abiding citizens, we have guests. 10 foes out for the first slug to bring me to head. If you want to live through the night, stay the fuck out of our way.
That's the first data drive. Marked.
Running a bypass.
Stealth wall deployed.
Suspect inside is jamming our system access. Breach and clear the apartment. Weapons hot.
Let me see her!
No hesitation.
Please help.
Subject down!
What did they promise you? Freedom? Family?
There are 2 more data cubes on this block.
The system knows. You're one of us.
Not going to
Cover me!
Prosecute. With extreme prejudice.
Fuck you, pig!
Consciousness transfer approved.
No, no, no!
Please, I
I just need to get up to floor 60.
Alameda PD is tracking multiple gang units converging on your position. Floor 80 and above are locked down. Data cubes will access the system mainframe. Wipe the drive and reboot the block.
Useless bastards! You let the pigs check into my shit! I ought to skin the lot of you! Now slaughter the What did they promise you? Freedom. Family. The system. Knows you're one of us.
The Mound, Omen of Cthulhu is a cooperative horror adventure designed for up to 4 players. The game emphasizes exploration, teamwork, and survival in hostile environments inspired by Lovecraftian horror. Players face physical threats, alongside mental pressure and uncertainty. Progress depends heavily on communication and coordination. The experience focuses on shared tension and unpredictability. Ill is a survival horror game focused on realism, physical reactions, and extreme body horror. Enemy behavior responds dynamically to player actions, and damage is shown in graphic detail. Resources are limited, making combat dangerous and often avoidable. Interaction with the environment plays a major role in survival. The experience emphasizes vulnerability and constant pressure. Clive Barker's Hellraiser Revival is a first-person action horror survival game that looks ahead to a new story within the Hellraiser universe, where a man relies on a mysterious puzzle box while bound to a bargain with Pinhead. The atmosphere is dark, violent, and unsettling, shaped by blood-soaked imagery and otherworldly horror.
Your intrigue, your fear, your inability to comprehend these sights. You called for us, and you can no longer return. You can only journey deeper into hell and witness the infinite terror within. The reckoning will be...
Blackwood is a horror exploration game set in an isolated forest environment. Gameplay focuses on investigation, environmental interaction, and slow progression. Combat is minimal, with tension driven by isolation and atmosphere. The story unfolds naturally through exploration rather than scripted scenes. The experience relies on quiet fear and uncertainty.
You're always showing up when I'm closing. Oh my god, what happened to your face? Put some ice on it. Good night, Anton.
The gap in left center. That's rolling all the way to the wall. He's around first. Digging.
Forest 3 continues its direction as a survival horror experience centered on wilderness danger. Players explore hostile natural environments while managing survival mechanics. The game emphasizes tension and exposure rather than fast combat. Fear comes from isolation and environmental threats. The experience is structured to maintain steady pressure over time. Axe of Blood is a third-person beat-em-up centered on close-range melee combat. Fighting is fast, skill-based, and built around movement, timing, and positioning. Encounters are short and intense, encouraging aggressive play. The setting follows a violent urban environment driven by revenge. The focus stays firmly on combat mechanics rather than exploration.
Bad dotland.